Hello, students. Welcome to EasyElimu, Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, still on to the chapter summaries of Fathers of Nation. Uh, in this episode, we are focusing on the episodes that we have in chapter 7. So, dear students, chapter 7 is a very short episode that is simply talking about, you know, uh, the host meeting other heads of state. So we can call it the name that we can give to that episode, dear students, is that is breaking the ice before the summit. So when you're talking about breaking the ice before the summit, we are focusing on the behaviors and mannerisms of the host, that is the president of Gambia, in front of other heads of states. So before we look at that, dear students, remember that in the previous episodes in the previous chapter, that was chapter 6, we talked about Comrade Melusi, that it was about Comrade Melusi's story, where in the first episode in the chapter, we talked about the essence of the security, that is Comrade Melusi being cleared by the security personnel, so rather the security officers. Then the second episode that we talked about in that chapter was about the plight of diabetic patients, and this was after Comrade Melusi was found with a needle that was put inside a cellophane pouch, where he later on argued that he is diabetic. This after a medical checkup that had been done when Path Alpha, when Agda wanted medical records. Then the last chapter that we talked about was about the lunch that Comrade Melusi had with Mr. Tad, long way. So they were in different places, two different hotels. That is Chiamuka restaurant, and the next one was Muponda. So about chapter 7, dear students, remember I've said that it is a very short episode, and we are only going to look at that is the host. The whatever takes place in this chapter is about the host trying to create some rapport with the other heads of state before the summit officially begins. So remember, the president of Gambia, that is the host, had rejected the honor of being the chair of the summit for personal reasons. So in the episode that we have, so I'm not going to talk about the first episode, because if I say first, it is like we have got a second one. So in this episode, we are told that before the summit kicks off, the host engages in a friendly banter with the heads of states to break the ice. So they are having a conversation, not a formal conversation. So this is an informal conversation. So they are greeting one another. They are greeting each other in order to create some rapport before the summit uh, officially begins. So we are told that he's engaged in a friendly banter with other heads of states uh, in order of what we call poles of influence. So when we talk about poles of influence, we talk about the political hierarchy. So there is a respect. You are respected according to maybe some of the things that you've done, or maybe the people you relate, people you hang out with, the kind of person you are, blah blah blah. So the host The host engages in this friendly banter with different heads of states, looking at the political hierarchy. So we are told that in number one, greets the Nigerian president, uh, whom he calls as brother presidents, since they were born presidents. So the reason why he goes for the Nigerian president is because of a pole of influence that is based on, the population. So population. So the host and the Nigerian president exchange pleasantries. They exchange pleasantries. Uh, remember, I've said that they refer to themselves as brother presidents, meaning that they were born to be what? To be presidents. So during the exchange of pleasantries between the two heads of state, Pastor Chiamaka, is having some thoughts uh, that if only, the Nigerian president could lead Nigerian well. So the host uh, proceeds to the South African president. So remember, still looking at the political hierarchy. So he goes to the South African president because of technology. So in South Africa, the technology is a notch higher. So it is another pole of influence because South Africa as a country has advanced a lot in technology. Then the host next heads to the president of Kenya. So the president of Kenya spoke next on account of the country's strong alliance with America. So Professor Kimani blamed the death of her daughter and loss of his wife to an MP. Remember, the MP is a newborn Walomu. So on the MP, because he is a member of parliament, it means that he is a lawmaker in the government. So he blames the loss of the daughter and loss of his wife on an MP and the government, because he feels the government could have done something to prevent uh, all these. So the next thing that we learn in this episode is that from there, that is after the pleasantries that had been exchanged earlier on by the host with other heads of states. So he moved to the president of Zimbabwe, and this is on account of sheer obstinacy. So Comrade Melusi, remember Comrade Melusi comes from Zimbabwe. So the host moves to his president. So he hates his president intensely and also blames the leader, rather his president, for the murder of hundreds of people, including his wife. So Comrade Melusi, dear students, is a widower. So the next person to speak was that is the leader of Libya. So he was to speak on the account of his refusal to abide by rules that are agreed upon. So he's someone who is defiant, dear students. So Engineer Tahir once had been one of the president's greatest admirers, but not anymore. He used to admire the leader of Libya too much, but not anymore. So this time round, dear students, uh, he looks uninterested. This time round, he looks uninterested. So the next thing that happens is that the four observers. So it is like it is evident that the four observers all hated their governments, for all had suffered under the leadership of their presidents in their respective countries. So the same thing happened. So again, another reason why Engineer Tahir is pissed off and again looks interested is because he feels like, or rather, He hated the Libyan president, feeling that he had sold himself out to the West and became its servant. So the moment the leader of Libya started cooperating with the West, this was a disappointment to Engineer Tahir, who felt that you know, their leader had sold himself out uh, to the West. So that is the end of this episode, and again the end of this chapter summary, dear students, and please keep it easy, Elimu. Thank you.